good to go again. My OBS could have a heart attack. I don't know what its fucking issue was in the first place.
Okay. So that's what minerals are, and I'll get into why you actually do still need a lot of those. But the next one is food. You know what food is? You feed your population, you grow food. Pretty simple. Now, this is where we get into some new shit. Now, I am a hive mind, which means I don't actually make any consumer goods because happiness doesn't affect me. However, you make consumer goods. Consumer goods is like TVs and luxury shit that people on your planets need to be happy. Yeah, there you go. You're producing dildos. I don't know. Whatever your people use for consumer goods.
I can sell dildos for pretty good price to some of those more creepy empires.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since y'all produce asexually, I mean, I can sell them to you guys. You guys are going to need something to pleasure yourselves.
Yeah, but if you hover over, how much do you have and how much are you making right off the bat, actually?
And I'm making 8.
Okay, so if you hover over it, it tells you it's an advanced resource that represents the various gadgets, luxuries, and goods necessary to give your population a good life and to perform intellectual jobs such as research. So basically, whenever you have a researcher on the planet now, it will cost you consumer goods because they do harder jobs like making you science or money or something. And so you have to pay them by giving them more, like, stuff to buy with their improved salary. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they want those fancy flat screens, they want those relaxing chairs, and the big-ass dildos.
Dope. You need one of them dragon dildos.
Yep. So the next one over.
Alloys.
Alloys. This is, like I said, it's all about... not the same thing. But this is how you basically use it for ships, star bases, anything that you build out in space other than mining stations. This is what uses it. It's if you want to build a colony, you're going to need at least 100 alloys depending on what bonuses you have, things like that. So this is what is used for that. So this is kind of like what the old minerals were, where you want a shit ton of these so you can just spam out boats and shit. This is what this is. The next one is influence. You know what influence is, you know how to get it. Blah, blah, blah. Next, Unity, same thing. You know what it is. It's old shit. You know how to do it. Don't be a bitch. Now,
so how does the influence work again? Like, I don't know if it's changing, like, how to get it.
No, it's, you're human, so just keep your factions happy whenever they pop up. You get more influence.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if it changed.
Nope. So the next one, actually, you'll notice that it's no longer the Physics, Society, and Engineering tab.
Yeah.
It is it's a lab button, right?
Yeah. It's called
That's your combined... Yeah, well, shut up. Yeah, but if you hover over it, it just tells that's your combined research. If you hover over it, it tells you you're making like however much science of each time.
Does that doesn't add up? Hold on, where's my phone? Hold on a second. Wait.
You're like, wait a minute, my math comes out right, but
yeah, fuck you, that doesn't add up.
Does it not?
No.
What is it? How much is off?
I have 18 for all three, but it brings up to 55.
Oh, it's probably because it rounds it up, because it's probably like 18 point something, something.
Okay. What's next? Hello?
Oh, sorry. Next, that 0 where it says +0.
Yeah. I'm
hover over that. Those are your strategic resources that are like really rare. So you remember earlier when we were looking at etiquettes and it costs like some of those?
Yeah.
This is the like rare resources that you'll get later on in the game. So right now it's probably going to stay 0 out of 0 and it's probably going to be that. But in the future you could probably get some rare crystals, maybe some living metals.
And if you're lucky, you could get I actually like that update because in a lot of times I'd find stuff and they'd be like, oh hey, will you trade me this for this? And I'm like, I don't know how much I'm making, so I don't want to trade you all that I have just for this.
Yeah, so, and there are traders, actually. There's like a gambling casino that roams around the galaxy now that actually you can trade with and stuff. It's really hilarious.
All right.
But after that, this is where you get to your empire sprawl, and this is where I mentioned that you actually can get bonuses from being a small empire. This is your administrative cap, basically, is what this is. So, because you're a corporation, you have a bonus 20 there, but you get more penalized if you go over it. So basically for every district, colony, systems, planets, basically for every territory you have, this number goes up based on like how developed and how good it is and shit like that.
My administrative capacity right now is 50.
Yeah, so is mine, but that's because I took expansion and you're a corporation. So like right now, because you have one system, it's like +2.
Yeah, mine. Mine says I have 13 total from 9 districts, 2 from 2 systems, and 2 from 1 colony.
Yeah, so the more you get, the more that goes up. It's not necessarily that you need to keep it under 50. It's just that when you go over 50, because you're a corporation, you're going to get penalized more than when I go over it. Because when I go over it...
like a naval capacity in the old version.
Yeah, back when naval capacity, it wasn't like, oh shit, you're screwed. It was just like, oh, now it costs more energy to have boats.
Yeah.
So in this one, your leaders will be more expensive if you go over it. Your science will cost more to research, and it'll cost more for you to get a social unity policy.
Okay.
If you go over it. So the more you go over it, the more the bonuses increase that you're getting screwed over. So like I was like 100 over my total at one point, and it was costing me like an extra 120% towards my science. Okay. So I was losing out on tech a lot because I was overexpanding.
People went straight retarded.
Yep. So the next one over just tells you how many star systems and colonies that you have. The next one after that's how many planets, which by the way, there is no longer a set limit of planets that you can settle. You can now settle as many planets as you want. You just have to keep in mind that each one counts as a bonus towards your empire cap.
Okay.
The next one is your empire population, how much total people are in your empire. Now remember that it used to be 1 pop per one tile or planet size. But the way planet size works, you may have like a 19 size planet, but your population can still get up to like 100 and something on one planet. And you'll see why in a minute. Yeah, you'll see why in a minute. After that, starbase capacity, that still has a limit, and you know how that works. And then naval capacity, you definitely know how that works.
Okay, cool. Do we not have fleet capacity anymore? Was that ever a thing?
Fleet capacity, I mean, it's still over there on the side. If you look at your military fleet, you still have 3 out of 20 on that for fleet capacity.
Okay.
Now click on your planet. This is where the big update changes, and it's where the most controversy happens. Okay. You're gonna be looking at a screen. That's exactly what I heard you would say. I was about to say you're about to say, what the fuck am I looking at? But okay, so how big is your planet?
I don't know.
Okay, so at the top. Okay, so instead of that being like a limiter on your population, that's how many districts you can have. Now, districts are, you see the tab where it literally says districts?
Yeah.
Each one is like a facility dedicated on the planet to this. So a city district gives you a lot of housing. If you hover over it, it tells you. For the price of 2 energy a month, you can get 6 more houses for 6 more population. That's basically like a city district. Or I don't know what your housing may be. Mine may be different. But next to that is a generator district.
Oh, wait, hold on.
This is
on city district. What am I looking at again?
It's the first one where it has like a number out of 7 of some sort.
Mine says 4 out of 9, but I didn't understand.
Hover over the one above it, like not the number, but like the picture of the city or whatever. All right, so you see where it says like upkeep something and then housing plus whatever.
Upkeep 2 energy, housing plus 5, and clerk jobs plus 1.
Oh, see, remember, I'm a hive mind, so mine's a little different, so I need you to tell me if it says something different. All right, so what that means is that you get 5 houses. It's basically you just built a city on your planet, and it's giving you 5 housing for 5 population, which, by the way, counts as like each pop counts as like 1 million people or something. But that's saying that like you have room for an extra 5 population. It's no longer 1 building is 1 population with 1 tile on your planet.
So I have to start kicking outdoors. People are fucking too much.
Kind of. But let me just get through the districts and then I'll kind of explain a little better. But next is the generator district. This is basically where you build like an energy plant, and people go, and it gives some housing for them. It gives a little bit of housing, but it gives you more jobs. It should say like energy making jobs of some sort.
Yeah, mine says, plus 2 housing, plus 2 technician jobs. Things you produce 8 energy credits.
Yep. So that basically means that you'll have people working on making energy, and that'll be their job. The next one you have is the mine. This is basically all raw resources. So this is the first the 3 districts here are all correspond with the first 3 raw resources, which is minerals, energy, and food. So the red one would be your mineral district. This is basically where you build the mines. You send people to the mines whenever they don't shut the fuck up. That kind of stuff. Should say like plus something housing plus certain jobs, right?
Plus 2 housing, plus 2 minor jobs, plus 8 minerals.
Okay. Then you have agriculture, same thing except for food.
Yeah, plus 2 housing, plus 2 farmer jobs, plus 12 food.
Okay, so those districts are, like I said, they're like you're building a city, but that city that you build is specifically dedicated to this output. So maybe the farm is like a city for some people to live, but it's more focused on growing food than it is anything else. Now, below that, you should have something that says like, it's like a diamond looking ring. If you hover over that, it says it's trade value.
Yeah.
You're a corporation, so you should actually have a lot of trade value. What is your trade value?
36.42.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, so this basically translates into that's how much on your planet people are trading with the government right now. So that's your income. That number, you should be making a lot of energy then, because that number specifically...
3 energy.
Okay, well, that trade value, once we actually get started, should be, like, it turns into instant energy making. Like, half of your trade value is turned into... So, because you're making 36 a month, you basically get 18 extra bonus energy a month from that trade value.
Okay.
Okay, so to the left of that...
What is it?
That's a Reese's Pieces tree.
Put it down over here. Anyway, continue.
So next to that, to the left of it, you should see like a I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like a grassy field, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So to the left of that, you can show planetary features. Yeah, basically. So whenever you click show planetary features, it pulls up this little thing on the side that has like the list of planetary features, right?
Yeah.
This is like kind of what replaced the tile blockers. So each planet has like a unique kind of like territory. So the ones that are probably in the way right now, you probably have like industrial wastelands or something, or like...
yeah, I have 2 industrial wastelands and 1 sprawling slum.
Okay, so these are like the tile blockers. Once you clear those, you can... you see it says it takes away one of the districts you're allowed to build. So once you clear them, you can build more of a certain kind of district. Now, if you scroll through, you can actually look, like, on my planet, I have, like, hot springs, which says I can have more generator districts. I have a rushing waterfall, which adds another generator district.
I see hot springs, rushing waterfalls, tempestuous mountain, ore-veined cliffs, prosperous mesa, rich mountain, rugged woods, fertile lands, and black soil.
Yeah, so we have actually the exact same for the capital, maybe. I guess it's the exact same for capitals, but that tells you, like, what you can do. Now, back on your districts, you see how it has, like, little squares under the picture of the districts?
Yeah.
The gray ones are the ones that are being blocked because you haven't cleared out all the tile blockers on the planet yet.
Okay.
So for example, on my agricultural districts, I can have up to 9, but 3 of them are blocked from the fact that I have shit blocking them right now because they're grayed out.
Okay.
The green squares, if they're not gray, they're just green, but they're not filled in. That means that you could have up to this many, but you don't have them built yet. And the full in square means you have them built. So I have 2 agriculture, 2 mining, and 2 energy right now, along with 3 city districts.
Okay, yeah. So I have 4 city districts, 1 generator district, 2 mining districts, and 2 agriculture districts.
Okay, so instead of me having 4 cities, I have 2 energy, while you have an energy in 4 cities. That's not bad. Plus, again, I'm a hive mind, so it's a little different. But, okay, so below where I had you see the tile blockers, this is where it kind of gets into some of the information here. You should see, like, a blank person-looking thing, and then next to that's, like, a person with a hard hat.
Yeah.
Things like that. Alright. So, the first thing... Oh, my God, hold on. Settings, sound. My master volume reset itself, so I was getting loud-ass music. I was trying to talk over it. All right. Anyway, so the first thing in that tab, it just tells you the districts, right? Like, so next to the person, it has, like... Yeah. So you have maximum districts. Then you have however many planets that you have. It's just a breakdown of the district screen a little bit better, basically. It's telling you that I have room for 4 more districts if I wanted to right now. Okay. What does yours say? Like, it should just...
District city slots 5.
Free district slot... Wait, so you have 5 free district slots?
Yeah.
Which means that you could build up to 5 more districts anywhere you wanted to on that list, as long as you had enough room. So next to that, that's your population. You said you had 28 right now?
Yep.
Okay, so that's your population. That's how many people per million are living there. So you have 28 million people living on your planet right now.
Good God,
or is it billion?
India?
Or is it billion? Well, you have to remember, this is a whole planet. I don't remember if it's million or billion, but we'll go with million, maybe. So you have 34 population. Now next to that you also with the hard hat it has 28.
I don't see a hard hat.
Well, it's like, okay, so next to your current population tab, there's the same looking tab, but it has like a picture of like a hard hat on that person. You see what I mean? It's like right next to it.
Oh,
to the
planet summary?
No.
Population.
Where are you looking? Okay, where you had the population tab, under the rare planetary features, there's a... basically, it should be directly under the diamond ring that tells you your trade
That's what
value.
I said. You're talking about on planet summary tab.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize you changed the thing.
You said population, so that's where we're going.
Oh, no, on this screen, don't click the population tab yet. That's way more
my
complicated.
current population is at 28, but the hard hat one is at 28 as well.
Okay, so that's how many jobs you currently have on your planet. If you have more population than jobs allowed, then you have unemployed, which basically they're hobos that run around and cause you crime and shit. It's a problem. So you want to try to keep the jobs available more than what you have on population.
Okay.
So remember how earlier it said building like a housing district will give you some thrifty jobs?
Yeah.
Thrift clerk jobs. That would give you more jobs as well as more population. Now, under that hard hat one, there is one called that's current unemployment.
Yeah.
That will tell you if you have any unemployed pops. Although, if you wanted to, you could just look and see, oh, I have more population than I do hard hat. Shit, unemployment. Now, next to the left of the unemployment one, that's housing. That's how many extra houses you still have. So, like me, I'm 7 as well, which means my people can have 7 more population before I run out of houses for them. And if you run out of houses, it starts to cause a problem. Okay. And next to that, that's amenities.
All right, I have 10.
Okay, that's kind of like the happiness of your pop. It's weird. Basically, it's like the happiness of your people on the planet. The more amenities you give them, like, I don't know, you give them Justin Bieber, it makes them happy.
Really?
For some it pisses off. It just send them back to Canada. But point being that's like the happiness, and you get bonuses from certain jobs. Like if you have priest jobs, I'm pretty sure they give you amenities. If you have entertainment, you can have a luxury hotel, which gives you houses and happiness, things like that. And then if you wanted to, there's to the left of, or not to the left, to the right of the hard hat job, there's like resource production.
Yeah.
You can see everything being made on your planet right now if you wanted to see the whole thing all at once. Okay. You should also see like minerals, food, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now above that, buildings. Now no longer again is it one building per one population. So this is like a unique building that you can build, and it unlocks. You should see that it has like a lock at like 30, 35, 40, has those things locked. That's because you need enough population to be able to build them. Now, the first few buildings you have is like the Hive Core. That's mine. That's kind of like yours should be like the Capitol building or something.
No, mine says Alloy Foundation, Civilian Industries, Commercial Zones, Corporate Culture Site, Hollow Theaters, Luxury Residence, Precinct Houses, Research Labs, Resource Silos, and Stronghold. You have all of those built, or are you looking at the one where you could build the building? I can build.
Okay, I was talking to ones that you already should have built. The first one in that... Yeah, so that's like your Capitol building, and then you should have like some maintenance depot, or well, that's mine. But yeah, you should have some buildings already built.
Foundries, Civilian Industries, and Commercial Zones.
Yeah. So alloy foundries turn minerals into alloys. That's the whole point of them.
No way.
Now,
I could have never guessed.
So if you go back to your open building slot, the one that you talked, you can see that like if you hover over each building, it says like this again, minerals turned into alloys, but it costs things. This one is just more housing, maintenance depots, more amenities. Research labs, for example, turn minerals into physics, society, and engineering research. Resource silos just store more stuff. Sentient posts give you more defense. Strongholds. Sentient nodes is turns energy credits and food into unity. That's for me. Turns energy credits into unity and society research, actually. That's actually not bad. But so each building does different things. It gives you different jobs. It's kind of like this is how you industrialize instead of raw resource. So you get what I mean? Like if you could build an alloy foundry and you would be making less minerals, but you'd be making more alloys.
Okay.
You can also do stuff to get more housing here. Like if you were to build, for example, one of mine is one that gives me a hive warrant. It gives me a bunch of housing and maintenance drone jobs. So that's cool. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now before we click on the population tab, you already see what your governor is. You can see where he's at. That's easy. Now, above the governor, though, there's like a little black I don't want to say black person. It's a ninja. That's your crime rate on your thing.
10%. What the hell?
So you have 10% crime already. Okay. But that's a thing that can happen.
Hello?
What?
Oh, you went dark for a second. I was really confused.
Oh, no, I was talking about the crime. Did you not hear me?
No.
Okay.
This other thing that happened and then you went dark.
Oh, another thing that can happen is with the crime, if it goes up too high, you can get like rebellions, you can get like people getting pissed off and burning shit down, you can lose buildings, districts, and you basically keep the crime low or bad shit happens. Okay. Above that, that's your stability. Again, stability kind of takes everything into account and how good everything's going. Don't let this get low, because again, if it goes lower than 50, you could have a full-scale revolt, and that would just be bad. Okay. And then above that, there's a decisions tab. This is where you can do things like tell people to stop making babies. Literally, it says cease all population growth on the planet. Don't do that in your capital because you want planets. But you can do it on like other planets where you don't want a lot of people.
I have declared martial law, discourage planetary growth, distribute living goods, and encourage planetary growth. Yeah, see, so you can spend like influence later in the game to do shit instead of just having it sit there at 1,000. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't do that yet though. So now we go to the population tab. Because I do see that I'm only making 3 energy. So if I want to build another like energy thing, how would I do
an energy district? Okay. So click on the picture of the generator district.
Okay.
And then over to the left, it popped up a tab. You just click on that once you have enough minerals.
Okay, but where would that go though?
It would build another energy district in your thing. It would just so you have 5 districts available, right?
Yes.
Whenever you built it, once it's done building, the light would go. It would turn into a full square, and you would have 1 less district able to build. If you wanted to, you could build like 5 energy districts if you wanted to.
All right, on a population.
All right, so this is where it gets a little more complicated. So later on, when you have robots, it gets a little different. But over here under demographics, you have growing. It tells you how much population is growing each month. It tells you the little circles how much of a percentage each pop is yours. So like if you have a bunch of different species on a planet, this wheel can be really, really weird looking.
Something that I do because I'm a xenophile, so more people can come to my planet.
Yeah, but it has like 1 pop is growing. The assembling next to it is if you're a robot, you'll be building there. And declining is like if a pop is leaving your planet to live on another one, or it's like dying or something, it goes there. Now under that, it tells you your base population happiness. Under the wheel, you can see where it has like a smiley face. 50%. Mine's at 50%. Yep. Population, it tells you if they're migrating. That's that little hobo sack. It tells you how many robots you can have. It also still has housing and amenities on this screen. Yeah. So that's good to know. Now, yours is a little bit different than mine, but you should have like administrator jobs.
I have jobs, rulers, specialists, and workers.
Okay, so click on the rulers to start with.
Okay.
Okay, so it should pop down a smaller tab that has like leadership or something.
Yeah, 2 executives.
Okay, so that tells you what it kind of breaks the job thing down into more detail, but it should say like executives, and then it should have like, it says cost this, but they make this. You know what I'm saying? Like by their name where you have them. Should say like
is 1 food and 1 of those pots and pans.
Yeah, consumer goods. Yeah, but they should produce something.
2.5 unity, and they produce 5 amenities and 4 trade value.
Okay, so that's what that is, and are you hovering over each individual population, or are you just seeing that next to the name? Because it should tell. Okay, yeah. So that's the leadership role. That's if you have like leadership jobs on the planet, like governors, maybe like district manager, things like that. Go down to the what's your bottom one called? The worker jobs. All right, so click that one.
There it goes.
So that should scroll down into a lot more of a thing.
Yeah, 9 clerks, 4 farmers, 4 miners, and 2 technicians.
All right, so this is where those jobs you were asking about earlier come into play. So once you build a district of like the energy, for example, you should get 2. It adds 2 energy jobs, right? That's what a district said. Yours does.
What? I was yawning.
Whenever you build a district, what did it say? How many jobs did it add? Remember?
2, 2, and 2.
Okay, so basically under this tab, you'll see that it has like a picture of a building right now, and it has like so for example, under your like tech or like your tacticians or whatever they are,
Yeah.
it should have like a picture of 2 buildings and 2 populations on the building, right?
Wait, what?
Okay, so where it says like tech, like mine says tech drones, but like for example, yours could be like miners or something.
Okay.
So there should be a picture of your population standing next to like a building in the background.
Yeah.
These are like your districts. So each district adds 2 of these, which means that you can work and mine stuff. So like right now, I'm making 27 energy off my tech guys, for my energy. My mining dudes are making 27 minerals. My maintenance drones, which is a unique thing for me, are making amenities. And my agricultural drones are making 46 food because they're farmers. Yours, so my maintenance drones are like your clerk jobs, kind of.
All right.
So for yours, what are yours making right now?
My clerks?
Just
My clerks
whatever.
making 18 amenities and 18 trade value.
Okay.
My farmers make 25 food. My miners are making 19 minerals. My technicians are only making 8 energy.
Okay. So this is how you kind of help control that individually, and you can kind of see your social class breakdown. So anyone in this job, if there is an available job for the next one up, which is what is yours called? Because mine is called mine's called complex drones. So if there's an open job in the specialist, that's basically like the next job up. You know, they're taking that pay raise to go do a better job. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if you have an open job available here, this is where you're producing like your science, your alloys should be here. You should be able to spend some stuff to make Unity, and like military jobs can also be here if you have a lot of police or like soldiers and stuff, things like that.
Have an enforcer.
Okay, yeah, that's your police. That's your police job. That's how you lower crime and stuff.
Okay.
But so this is how you get into these jobs. If you have any of these jobs open, people will leave your lower tier jobs to go to that, but you can also decrease the priority. So like if you wanted to, you could like say, I don't want people to work on my farms as much as I want people to work on my minerals or something, like each on planet. But this is like a way to like specialize your population into either like raw resource production or into industry, or like just having a big ass city with a lot of people on it. So they have like basic jobs, like office jobs. That's what those are, by the way. If you build city districts, it's like they have office. Yeah, kind of. You can, dude. You can there's a thing in here that you could literally turn an entire planet into a city. Like the entire planet just gets paved over and gets turned into a big ass city.
Huh. Okay.
It's pretty cool. So that's kind of how you look at each job, and you can come in here. And if you have questions later on, you can always ask me.
All right.
Next tab should be armies. This is how you recruit assault armies, and defense armies are automatic. You can assign a general. Don't use this too often until you need to make armies. And now the last tab over is corporation tab. You probably can't do it on your own planet, and I can't do it at all because I'm not a corporation.
Yeah, I don't have corporate authority.
Okay, yeah. So you can't do one on your home planet, but if you were to click on like my planet, if I wasn't a hive mind, you could click that tab, and that's how you build your office branch in order to like open a new office on someone else's planet.
Okay.
Okay, so that's this is like the big difference. It's obviously a lot to learn and take in, but it's actually really cool because you can have like worlds that specialize into like industry or agriculture. So you remember what I was trying to do before in the old version where I was like, I'm going to make this planet do this and this planet do this?
Yeah.
But it wasn't really doable because they didn't really have that system. Now you can really specialize planets.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to go over with you before. Oh, there is actually. Can you click on your shipyard for me? Your star space?
Send me a star space.
Star base.
Okay.
Okay. Now in here you should have mine's a solar panel network, but yours should be a trade hub. It should have a shipyard and a trade hub of some sort.
I see star base, defenses, and there it is.
It's in your
shipyard and trade hub.
All right. So you remember what the trade hub used to do? It just gave you basic energy, right?
Yeah.
Hover over it.
Okay.
Okay, so now it should say like energy, and then it gives you like +1 range of some sort. Like it says +1 intake range or something.
I see collection range +1.
Yes. Okay. So that means that every system that touches your capital, you can actually collect the trade value out of that. So whenever you're exploring the world, every once in a while you'll find. Remember that diamond ring that was on your planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find those in each system, and that's how much trade value that system has. But you don't need to build a star base in every single one of your systems to be able to get it. In order to get it, you can build more, like say you build one star base, but instead of building like a shipyard or a bunch of defenses there, you build a bunch of trading hubs. It could be a trade station that collects a lot of trade value for trade routes and stuff. This is how you do trade routes, by the way, is your star bases. Your star bases count. So in the future, if you build like an upgraded star base that has a bunch of military, your capital will trade with that star base automatically.
Okay.
But so now click on the tab where you have your trade hub. You're not going to build over it, but I'm just going to show you. So it should pull up the models that you can build, like other shipyards, anchorages, gun batteries, and missile battery stuff, right?
Yeah. Trade hub, shipyard, anchorage, gun battery, missile battery.
Okay, so don't build on them, but hover over them to read what the gun battery and the missile battery do.
I assume it's a battery for a gun.
Well, no, I mean, but where it says starbase modifiers down at the bottom after you're hovering over it, don't click it, but it says protection range and trade protection, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they no longer made it to where after the first 10 years, pirates will just randomly pop up and start fucking you up. They changed that. Now, pirates actually pop up how pirates are supposed to. Whenever you have trade routes, if you don't have enough trade protection between them, pirates could spawn in one of those systems and raid your shit. Okay. However, like if you wanted to, if you made like, okay, so you remember how earlier I said if you made a star base and just made it a completely big trade port and have a lot of trade, you can do that and it could have collection from like 6 systems away, right?
Yeah.
The same thing can be done with the military base. You can build a star base and then just upgrade it with like a gun or missile battery, and it'll upgrade your range protection as well as your trade protection. So the trade protection is the value of which, like, it's making sure pirates don't spawn. The protection range is saying, so like right now, if you were to have like 2 gun batteries, that stacks, by the way. So you would have a range of 2. So that means every system 2 systems away from the one that you built it in is protected by that one star base. So pirates can't spawn there.
Okay.
If it's strong enough. So it has like a range value now.
Cool.
Yep.
Is that it?
Oh, by the way, shipyards are also no longer built on the planet. Now, if you go back, they changed it to how it used to be, to where all of the ships are built in the same place. Now I'm done.
All right. But before we get actually into this game, we're gonna go ahead and pause.
Yeah. So, guys, that's been the DLC explained episode.
Yeah. With that being said, in next episode we'll get into this. So, as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you have suggestions, giveaway tips, comments, put in the comment section below, and I will see you all in the next episode.